Okay, we're working on that 23 KTM 450 SXF, doing the suspension. We already showed you we did the shock, revalved to put a ladder conversion. Now we're doing the forks. I'm going to try to make a little explanation of the difference between a leaf style mid-speed and a float. Actually, WP likes to call it a trampoline valve. Okay, on the mid-speed, the float is when the mid-speed actually has a float. The mid-speed floats a little bit like this, close, but before the shim stack starts to bend. That's called a float. Now, a leaf style or a trampoline valve actually has a valve. It has a dished washer like this. This is a different style one, but a dished washer like this, or like this is a KYB one. It's dished where a washer sits on top. Okay, there is actually a valve stack right here on top of that dished washer. So it pushes the valve stack all the way up tight. There's no float at all. So what happens when oil hits it and it goes down, the trampoline washers bend the opposite direction like a leaf spring would, and that's what creates the movement, which creates it holds the bike up in the stroke a lot more, creates a lot more front tire traction, a lot more positive feel with the float, with the leaf style or trampoline valve as WP calls it. I particularly like the float style like this, more for like an off-road use, because you can control the float. The more float you have, the better it becomes in the rocks and the little choppy stuff. So this works really good for off-road. And then on the compression side, this one just has a normal compression valve stack. Nothing else going on. The oil flows through here and then out the hole. Down here is a hole. Comes out the hole right here, so there's nothing else going on. But we are going to replace that with this, which is called a sub valve. That valve stack, which we'll revalve it, sit right here with the piston. But underneath here, there's another dishwasher with another valve stack right there. That's called a sub valve. What happens when the oil goes through the clicker, it has to go through this valve stack before it flows oil. This one just flows freely. This creates same thing, creates more low speed compression and more control, more traction. And hopefully that helped to notice the difference between having a float and a leaf style mid speed or having a sub valve in your compression.